G'day guys, welcome to another episode of The Life Aquatic with Rob Bull, and today we're going to take a quick look at the nitrogen cycle, hopefully an in-depth look still. So, what is the nitrogen cycle? Well, the nitrogen cycle is the natural process by which different forms of bacteria convert the ammonia that is produced by living organisms as a waste and is toxic into first nitrites, then nitrates, which are much safer for fish, still not great, but are fantastic for plants and algae as they provide a food source for them. So I guess we'll begin at the beginning, and we'll start here with food and organic material. And so what I mean by that is any dead organic material, fish, invertebrates, microorganisms, plants and algae, as well as any food that you might put into the aquarium. So that's why there's the double arrow between the food and the animals. Any animals that die in there will become food for another organism in the tank. So what happens to that food and organic material? Well, things eat it. Then they process the food and release this stuff, ammonia, and as most of us know, ammonia is absolutely terrible for fish health. So now that the ammonia is in our tanks, what happens to it? Well, some of it is taken up by plants and algae and used as fuel. And in a healthy, well-cycled tank, the rest will be taken up by these little guys, the nitrosomonas bacteria, and converted into nitrites. So now things are all good, right? No. Unfortunately for us fish keepers, nitrites are still poisonous to fish. So you might well ask, what happens to the nitrites? Well, the answer to that is that these little guys, the Nitrobacter species of bacteria, take up the nitrites and convert them to nitrates. Now this stuff is much friendlier to fish, but can still cause problems in high concentrations. Now these nitrates are taken up by plants and algae once again, and used as a food source. And those plants and algae can then be eaten, and the cycle begins again. Now for most aquariums, that there is the nitrogen cycle in a nutshell. There is, however, one more element to this cycle, which is currently not seen often in aquariums. Now, what some advanced aquarists and myself are trying to do is to encourage the growth of various species of denitrifying bacteria. Now, these little guys can live in both aerobic and anaerobic environments, so environments with or without oxygen, although for the purpose fish keepers are trying to encourage their growth, anaerobic conditions are the only ones that are useful, as these bacteria only use nitrogen as a terminal electron acceptor if there is no oxygen present to use. So to create these conditions, we use a very deep bed of substrate. When provided with such an anaerobic environment, these little guys turn your nitrates into one molecule of nitrogen gas, N2, and 6 molecules of water, so H2O. But in the interest of keeping this one short, I will dedicate a whole episode to the subject of anaerobic bacteria. So guys, if you found this helpful, hit that like button, share it out so your friends can see it, and definitely make sure you subscribe and ring that bell button so I can get that content out to as many people as possible. So here we are at the end of another episode. So until next time, look after each other, guys.